Columbia police tell me the city has 3 very active gangs. They all formed sometime within the last 5 years and can be directly connected to many of this year's shootings, robberies, and even murders. What's more alarming, kids as young as 12 are now getting involved. This has become a familiar sound on Columbia streets.
It's happened so much, like people are like, oh, okay, it's not a big deal to shoot someone anymore.
Since the start of the year, there have been 33 shootings, already a more than 20% increase from this same time last year.
A lot of the recent violence all stems or could be directly tied to an increase in gang activity in Columbia.
Detective John Logan with Columbia's Major Crimes Unit says at least half of this year's shootings are gang-related. That includes 3 of the city's most visible crimes: the February shooting at Chuck E. Cheese, the murder of 39-year-old Lamont Sargent in March, and last month's murder of 17-year-old Brian Rankin.
So it kind of hurt that I can't paint you a picture. I can't tell you how it feels. It's unimaginable.
Rankin's dad is still reeling from the death of his son, the second Columbia teen to be murdered this year. A 15-year-old boy sits in jail right now charged with Rankin's death.
15 years old. This boy, he's just a kid. He don't know no better. Somebody put that in his head.
Do you think that this was gang-related?
No. Yes and no. I think it was gang-related because I think that gang members influenced this young man that shot my boy. But I think it wasn't gang-related because my son, it had nothing to do with the gang.
When I looked up Rankin's Facebook profile, I found the teen called himself the CEO of Hollister Boys.
He said it's a bunch of our kids, my friends, that we just get together and we all wear Hollister.
But Columbia police call the Hollister Boys one of 3 active city gangs. Detective Logan says Hollister formed as a means of protection from a rival gang. They're made up of 10 to 20 members, mostly teenagers. Next is Squad Up, which includes about 20 to 35 members. They've been around the longest, forming 5 years ago. And finally, who police believe is the largest and most powerful gang, Young Money. The group has as many as 50 members with another 25 close associates. They feud with both Squad Up and Hollister. Investigators don't think Columbia gangs require members to kill or commit a violent crime to join, an initiation, but do worry most about the youngest members.
The younger ones sometimes are the most violent because there is a belief that the consequences for the younger juvenile will be more lenient. We're seeing gang activity into the middle schools now.
We do PE outside sometimes, and we're always aware of Douglas Park because there are so many shootings and fights there. So I'm concerned personally for that.
And those concerns stretch citywide. Over the winter, shots were fired from the parking lot here at Southside Pizza. Now, the reason we're seeing shootings all over Columbia is because the city is not geographically big enough for the gang problem we have, which means there are no specific neighborhoods or areas that gangs live and associate in.
All 3 of these gangs will typically go to the same parties, the same schools. They'll shop at the same mall.
Those geographic boundaries also blur online. Teenagers tell me a number of issues are either created or exaggerated on social networking sites.
The kid who just got shot, somebody I know posted on Facebook that he deserved to die, blah, 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 blah. And it kind of started another little argument right there.
And once online postings create a conflict, students expect a violent response. So a number of teens now avoid certain groups or parties. You're thinking twice before making decisions.
Yes, we don't want to die.
As a parent, I would be very cautious where I would allow my child to associate. There's a good possibility that it's going to continue to get worse.
How bad does it have to get before you get the feds involved?
I would say the feds are almost always involved now.
I want everybody accountable.
And until every shooting suspect is held accountable, teens will worry.
We want to be able to feel safe to go to a party with our friends and not feel like we're gonna get shot or something.
And that sadly has become the reality. Where you guys think about this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Police tell me they're working with limited resources right now to catch those gang members still on the streets. That's also the problem for Columbia schools. The district is aware of the problem, but admits recent cuts to safety officers impact what they can do. So Thursday night, I sit down with police and community members on their efforts to combat Columbia's gang activity. Back to you.